I'm reporting to you on Super Bowl Sunday in front of Grace Episcopal Church, one of the 6 locations that the Westboro Baptist Church has chosen to picket. And as you can see behind me, the Gainesville Police Department has blocked off Northeast Boulevard and Washington Street in lieu of the protest. Members of the Gainesville community have come here to counter-protest the Westboro Baptist Church. This is Caroline Coleman in downtown Gainesville for Vanguard News. The Westboro Baptist Church is notorious for their regular protests at gay pride events, funerals of fallen U.S. soldiers, and federal courthouses. The members were carrying signs bearing messages like "God hates fags" and "Your pastor is a whore." The controversial Kansas-based church picketed at 6 churches in Gainesville before protesting the Super Bowl this past Sunday. I spoke to members of the Westboro Baptist Church to ask them why they chose Gainesville as their destination for their protest.
We figure the people of Gainesville need to have the truth of God as bad as anybody else. We kind of use that "God hates fags" as a, let's draw you in. And you need this message, and let's do some preaching here.
Universally, every church in this city teaches the lie that God loves everyone, and that's a lie from hell. There's no fear of God in this city. There's no fear of God in the state of Georgia. There's no fear of God in the United States of America or the world, because the preachers are dumb dogs.
Amidst the protests, I spoke to churchgoers in the community on their thoughts of the protesters gathered at their places of worship.
Well, they have a right to protest, just like anybody has, free speech in the United States. So they're able to say their piece as long as they leave us in peace to worship. I'm fine with that. The only thing I would say is they're a little presumptuous to think that their path is right or better than our path. So everybody has to find their own path.
At each of their destinations, Westboro Baptist Church was met by a large group of counter-demonstrators consisting of members of the organizations Indivisible Lumpkin and Hall County Young Democrats.
Yeah, we just kind of want to show that we're a community that values everyone, no matter your faith, no matter what you believe, where you're from, your orientation, who you love, anything. That we just love you for who you are and that you're welcome here.
Honestly, just their kind of hate is not necessary in our community. When it comes down to it, we are a community united. So we don't need their influence here.
Prior to the demonstrations at Grace Episcopal Church, you could hear the bells constantly ringing for 20 minutes prior to the service. I spoke to Reverend Higginbotham on his motives to ringing the bells.
It was. We always ring the bells prior to the service, but I wondered, you can hear them all over town. And so I wanted to find some way that would be a symbol, for people when there's so much screaming, so much tension and anger, and trying to posture ourselves. What would it be like to actually have the bells be a symbol of God's love that rings out through the entire town?
The message that Reverend Higginbotham delivered in the service was the popular Corinthians verse discussing love, and was selected years in advance, as determined by the lectionary cycle. Higginbotham believed that this was no coincidence.
If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have all faith as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these 3, and the greatest of these is love.